What's up, everybody? It is Doug, and welcome to another edition of Spooky Villages. And today we have one of the main event pieces for the year. We have the Dungeon of Terror, a Michaels for 2023 exclusive. This is the Carnival ride. I know that this is the piece that many people annually look forward to, is the big Carnival ride. But this year in particular, a lot of people have been looking forward to it. Let's check out the box. Here's the box, guys. Check it out. It is a big Carnival ride. And with those big Carnival rides traditionally come the big prices. $179.99 is what the retail on this guy is. That's the Michaels retail. Of course, normally at Michaels you get, on even the worst day, typically about 20% off. I wound up getting it for 40% off. At 40% off, I think it's pretty appropriate for this, because this is a big ride. It's got that new Michaels exclusive box, or the newer, I should say. It's been out now for a little bit, but check that out. Let's get into the piece. All right, guys, check this out. Look how big this piece is here. We'll do a once rounded here. This one, you have Phantom View apartments this year, are very tall pieces here. This is the power thing hanging below it. Yeah, this is a big boy here. So Dungeon of Terror, this is the one that I'd want to say, I don't know if most people were excited about it, because I don't really know out there, but as far as people talking about it, this is one of the pieces that generated the most excitement. I know several of the Michaels stores that I've been to, actually, outside of just buying one, a lot in my area were sold out. Actually, only one Michaels had this. As of this recording, I checked it before on there. So it's a popular piece, and also I think that a lot of the stores aren't getting a bunch of these. So a big boy. As I talked about the main event, the Carnival pieces for a lot of people, this is the one thing that Lemax does every year, and they usually do it pretty dang well. And this is a very good piece. I actually think Lemax has done a great job with Carnival pieces the last few years. Last year there was the what was it? Gosh, I can't think. Oh, whenever I get on camera, I always forget the names, even though I know them. The Bat Ride, the Count's Bat Bonanza, which actually wasn't at Michaels. It was a dealer building, and that was spectacular. This would go very well with that, because you have the dungeon theme of it, right? Kind of that castle facade. That would work with several things, but from the last few years, actually, I think this would go well with even some like non-Carnival buildings. You had the the Pumpkin Island. You had the Skull Cave Quarry, which this would go great with. Again, that Skull Cave Quarry can almost be like a big piece of Carnival decor theming, to where this goes with it. Of course, you have an Executioner up here. That is reminiscent of the beloved Dr. Stretch-and-Pull's Torture Factory, a piece near and dear to my heart and to many folks out there. Big collectible piece. But there's a lot going on here. I'll show you about it in a minute, or show you everything in a minute. If you pick this up here, though, it's a pretty heavy piece. Feels good construction on this one. You've got a lot of animation on this one. You have these guys right here, which go around. This seems to be, well, actually, there's two pieces of that animation on this piece. That seems to be like the de facto type of animation Lemax has been going with recently. So you have them going around up here, which actually, it's kind of a split Carnival ride a little bit, to where down here you've got these boats that go around. And I don't think it's going to show very well. It'll show you here when it's lit up, kind of what it looks like. But down here, the water actually looks pretty good on this one. The paint job on this is very well done, but that water is finished very well. So you've got the boats here that go around in a circle, and so it's more of like that kind of a dark, slash boat ride that you get at a lot of carnivals or amusement parks. But it's also mixed with up here, where the people are going around, to where that's more of like a fun house slash haunted house, like the Haunted Mansion, that type of attraction. And it is a more realistic piece, a realistic carnival ride. Some of the carnival rides like monster rides, and this one here is not that. This is more of the realistic type for you guys who like that. So animation on this one, of course, the boats go around here. You got this guy goes around. You've got up here, these dragons, they go in a circle. And then you also have right here, this guy will shake. I'll show you what it looks like here in just a moment. I guess, let's just show you what it looks like lit up here. As you can see, it looks spectacularly lit up. It really, really comes alive. And shameless plug here, what you see in the background there, that is the Ghostly Carnival Village Scene Setter, my backgrounds that I've been selling this year. Very happy, by the way. Thank you for everybody for the positive feedback and everybody doing these. There are going to be more next year, just FYI. I haven't really talked about it much on camera, but I've got some fun ones coming up next year. So anyways, getting back to the piece here, though, the lighting on this is it's spectacular. This is a show piece. Of course, I keep saying that main event wore well. for a lot of people, this will be the centerpiece of your collection. And as far as the Lemax carnival rides go, I think this is one, if you want to do like tiers, right? Like, you know how a lot of people do like the S, A, B, C tier like that. I think that this is probably a high A. I don't know that I put it in the S, although I kind of, you know, reserve that for like the Ferris wheels, Octo Squeeze. There are certain ones that are like that, but I think this is very high A tier. So this is, it's a top-notch carnival ride or amusement park ride. I guess really for this, you know, the difference, I suppose, carnival, you know, is like a temporary thing where an amusement park is permanent. This would be more of a permanent attraction. I think it'd be hard to move. Well, it'd be impossible to move a moat around, although I'm sure probably there's an example of it somewhere out there, some crazy carnival that travels around with that. But having a boat ride here with it looks like into the castle, that would be very tough to be on the road. Now I'll play it here with the lights and sound in just a minute, but as far as the actual lighting on it goes, as you can see here, there's a lot of different types of colors, different types of lighting that's going on here that really, you know, it looks really sharp as far as how it'll stick out in your display. I think it will really stick out. I love this little detail down here because, you know, the Lemax pieces always have these things. The sign says, ride the river to the underworld, tour the terrace of torture, and entrance is $6.66 per soul. I don't know how well this is going to really show off here on the camera. I tried to get pictures of it here, but there's actually a small indoor scene inside the boat part of the ride where you can see like the dungeon underneath, and it's got like a skeleton reaper basically who's down there with some. You got a skeleton with a coming out of a coffin. You've also got some like some spooky eyes in the holes in the wall. It's very, very cool. I like seeing an internal scene. I'm always a sucker for them. All right, guys, that's the Dungeon of Terror. Let me know what you guys think of it below. A lot of discussion on this piece has been out there online. Again, these big carnival / amusement park rides, they're almost always going to be, you know, they're the most talked about. It's the one thing that Lemax has pretty much done, as far as I know. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty much they've always done one every year, even if not a huge one. A smaller one, and typically they are kind of one of the biggest buildings of the year. So, you know, rides like this, it'll probably be around for a couple years. Again, it's a Michaels exclusive, but next year it will be at regular dealers, and you'll probably see this around for a couple years. And rides always tend to be collectible because the amusement park and carnival is always like the most popular theme. You know, I guess I shouldn't say that, but as far as like the big buildings go that are animated and the way resale prices go, it feels like that they're at least the most popular from that standpoint. So I always advocate, if you really like a carnival ride, you should probably get it sooner rather than later, because later on it's probably going to cost you a lot more. So, or at least wait till next year when it's at dealers, and you know, if you don't have access to a coupon whenever you're watching this from Michael's, a big coupon, or it's sold out or something, you can get it from a dealer for next year and you won't have to play the coupon game. So very, very cool piece though. Again, I would rank it in the carnival pieces probably A tier, not quite S. But it's very, very high tier, in my opinion. I think it's a great building. So, all right, guys, hey, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. It's been a lot of fun this year so far. I know I always say that thing, you know, say the same spiel at the end of these, but I am very appreciative, and I really like the comments and talking to all you guys. It's a fun annual thing for me, and I've been loving Spooky Villages here. Between moving and other stuff here going on, it's been a very, very busy summer. But I always enjoy, you know, getting to talk to you guys when I can. So thank you guys very much. For a teaser for the next time, I guess it's not much of a teaser because you're going to know what it is, but we're going to talk about the facade that Spooky Town has released, and it's a really good one this year too. This one and the last one that they did are both very solid. You know, there's only 2 of them, but they're both really good. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Here it is with the lights and sound.
Ride the river to the underworld through the Dungeon of Terror. Take your time. You can stay as long as you like. Wait, why is that one in front of us St. Jude? Why can't we learn? Follow the light, Daisy. Into the black abyss we sway. Darkness surrounding, while fires burn, from which you will never return. Hope you don't lose your appetite. Bon appetit. Oh no, I don't like this. Dungeon of Terror.